Hi everybody, I'm Mrs. Haskell, the art teacher at Canyon School. I look forward to seeing you all in person, but until we can, here is an art lesson that you can try at home. Hi everybody. Today I wanted to talk about an artist named Max Ernst, and we're going to do a little art lesson trying out some of his techniques, namely a technique called frottage, which is French for rubbings. Max Ernst was born in the late 1800s and he lived into the almost late 1900s. He was part of an art movement called Dadaism, and then later on he became a very important artist in an art movement called Surrealism. And he used this technique of frottage, of rubbings, to help him decide what to make his art about. He was trying to access, these surrealist artists always wanted us to access our subconscious mind. And so he would use frottage to create textures on his paper, and then he would look at it and go, what is this about? And then he would decide, okay, I'm going to use the rubbings and create a picture. So that was his start of a painting, using his unconscious mind and accidental experiments in order to help him on his way. He initially got this idea from looking at a floor, a wooden floor in his home, and he thought, look at all those interesting lines. So he put his paper down on there and rubbed it with a pencil and saw these interesting textures, and that's how he created his paintings. Here is an example of one of his frottage drawings. If you look carefully, you can see a lot of different textures that he picked up from rubbing onto the floor textures. And then he was able to look at it and say, I see a lot of different animals. So he went back in with his pencil or a pen, and he started to find these bird shapes. And this one looks actually like a person, and this one I see as a cat. So he found this, and there's someone, an owl maybe. So he found all these images and just pulled them out to create his picture. Here's another one that he did, and it looks like a dragonfly, but if we zoom in to the wings of the dragonfly, we can see that he probably used some leaves and did a frottage rubbing, and then created the wings of his dragonfly. And down here, the land actually looks like a piece of grating that he might have put underneath and then rubbed and got his texture for that. So that was another way that he created his pictures. Here's a more complete painting that he did, where he used frottage to start his picture, and of these two unusual people here. You can see the wood textures that he used, and you can see it looks like more of some sort of a screen or something that he rubbed. And then when he started his picture, this one was actually more of a painting, so he went back in and painted out areas that he didn't want to show the frottage, and then just used the frottage as the impetus for the beginning of his painting. So, all you're going to need is some printer paper. Printer paper works really well, and some crayons. If you want to have colored pencils, you can do that too, but you can do it really well just with your crayons. You're also going to need materials to rub on. So, I have a piece of wood I found here that you have to rub your hand across it and see if you feel texture, and this does have some texture. I also found some metal mesh different kinds of metal mesh. If you have these things around, or just you can look around your house and see a piece of lace. This actually makes a very cool pattern. You can even use little objects like I have a quarter here. That can work pretty well for little things. Or a comb. The comb has neat textures on it. Or you can go outside and find some leaves. It looks to me like Ernst did use a lot of things he found in nature. So you can find some leaves or any sorts of things to use for your textures. Let me show you some examples done by students. Here's one using a lot of leaves and different textures and different colors of crayon, but you can see that whole leaf texture there. Here's one, what is called Zen Garden, using a lot of the metal textures. And it looks like a garden. Yeah, these look like trees, and I can see a lot of just different abstract areas too, which is very pleasing. Here a student made one. He decided he would actually do a house, and this is the lawn. And for some reason, he added a paper clip that he put underneath and did a frottage rubbing of it. Here are a couple that I've played with. This is a crazy lady with her toast. I don't know. I just did all these shapes and colors and then looked and thought, oh, I see a woman in there. So I went back in with my crayons and my colored pencils and found this woman. Here's another one where I put lots and lots and lots of textures all over the paper using lots of different colors, and then started to look and realized that I saw a face up in here, and for some reason this fellow is holding a bunny rabbit upside down. We don't know what that is about, but it's very surrealistic. It's really from your unconscious mind, something that would appeal to Max Ernst. Now we're going to start and make our own. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with that piece of wood texture. I think I'll put it down here. I'm going to take my crayons and pick out some blue. And I'm just going to rub it, the side of the crayon, until I see that texture showing up. Okay, now I think I'll try a piece of my fern. I'm going to put it underneath my paper, and I'm going to pick a color. And put it on there. Gives me some interesting lines. Let's try this piece of lace. Spread it out on there. I'm going to go over some of my other textures and see what happens. You can make this really simple, or you can make it really complicated with many layers of rubbing. And let's try that quarter. I'm going to just stick it right there. See what happens with that one. Oh, I kind of like that. Maybe I'll put a few more of those in there in different places. The trick is to not be planning out what you're going to do, but to just put all the textures on there and see what you think when you're all done. Let's add one more texture here. Okay, I think I have something to work with now. So I take away all my things, and now is our chance to look at this and see what in our unconscious mind did we create. What do you see? And you don't have to just do it the way you said it. You could do it horizontally and see. I see an interesting swirl going on here. Let me turn it like this. Let me turn it back like this. I think I'm liking it more like this. I think I see a very tumultuous ocean that's coming up in here. And maybe, let's see. And here is a boat that is being battered by this tumultuous ocean. So now I'm going to go back in and start to show some of these things. Let's see. My boat. This is the sail right up in here, I think. But it's sort of a stormy, this is the, maybe it's moon, maybe it's the night. And this is a whirlwind happening over here. And it's battering this boat. Battering this boat with more water down and splashing. It's kind of radiating the sun over here. Tumult happening over here. So you can see you can build a whole scene and tell a story that you didn't know you were going to tell until you created this rubbing. I hope you will try out this art lesson. I can't wait to see the results.